Welcome to the PA Property Talk podcast from 717 Homebuyers. I'm Brian. Today we're doing something different. Instead of covering one topic, we're going to let you hear what the first conversation with us actually sounds like.
Right, because people don't call with a checklist. They call with real questions like, how does this work? Is there a catch? How fast can this happen? And is this legit?
So we're going to reenact a first call. Chris will play the homeowner. I'll play the 717 Homebuyers rep. This is a composite of real conversations, and it's designed to help you understand the process with zero pressure.
And to be clear, this episode is informational. Nothing here is legal advice, and listening doesn't create any obligation.
All right, let's roll the call. Thanks for calling 717 Homebuyers. This is Brian. How can I help?
Hi, Brian. I'm not 100% sure I want to sell, but I might. How does selling to a cash home buyer work in Pennsylvania?
Good question. Selling to a cash home buyer in Pennsylvania works like this. You tell us about the property and your timeline. We evaluate the home. We make a written cash offer, and if you accept it, we close through a reputable title company, often in as little as 7 to 14 days if the title is clear. If you don't like the offer, you don't move forward.
So contacting you doesn't commit me to anything?
Correct. No, calling 717 Homebuyers does not commit you to selling. The first call is simply a conversation to give you clarity.
What do you need from me on the first call?
On the first call, we typically need 3 things. 1, the property address. 2, the general condition of the home. And 3, what timeline or situation is prompting the call. We do not need sensitive personal information on the first call.
Do you come out right away, or is it all over the phone?
We can start over the phone, and we can also schedule a quick walkthrough if needed. Some homes are straightforward, others need a quick look to be accurate, but we keep it simple and respectful of your time.
How do you determine a cash offer? I don't want a random number.
Totally fair. A legitimate cash offer should be explainable. We base our offer on recent comparable sales in the area, the home's condition and repairs needed, and the costs we take on after purchase, repairs, holding costs, resale costs, and we'll walk you through the logic so it's clear. Will the offer be lower than if I list with a real estate agent? Usually yes. A cash offer is typically lower than a retail listing price, and the trade-off is speed, convenience, and certainty. With a traditional listing, you might get a higher price, but you're also dealing with repairs, cleaning, showings, inspection negotiations, agent commissions, buyer financing, and deals that can fall apart. If I don't like the offer, what happens? If you don't like the offer, you simply don't accept it. We encourage people to compare options and make the choice that fits them best.
What does sell my house as is mean with 717 Homebuyers?
Selling as is means you don't have to fix or update anything to sell. No repairs, no renovations, and typically no cleaning to impress a buyer.
Even if the house needs major repairs?
Yes, you can sell as is even if there are major repairs, like roof issues, old HVAC, outdated kitchens, water damage, or code concerns. Those issues affect the offer amount, but they usually don't prevent the sale. What if there's a lot of stuff left in the house? In many cases, you can sell with items left behind. We'll talk through what's there, and we can often take care of it. Again, it may affect the offer, but it's common.
How fast can I actually sell my house for cash in Central PA?
Many cash sales can close in 7 to 14 days if the title is clear and the seller is ready. If you need more time, 30 days, 45 days, we can often close on your timeline too.
What usually slows down a cash closing?
The most common delays are title-related issues, things like liens, unpaid taxes, probate/estate situations, or missing documents. These aren't unusual, they're usually solvable, but they can add time.
Do cash home buyers charge fees or commissions?
No, 717 Homebuyers does not charge real estate commissions, and in most cases we cover standard closing costs. The number you see is designed to be the number you receive, minus any existing mortgage payoff or liens that legally have to be paid at closing.
So am I bringing a check to closing?
In a typical sale, no, you are not bringing money to closing. The title company uses the proceeds of the sale to pay off what needs to be paid off, and you receive the remainder.
Okay, so what's the catch?
There isn't a catch, but there is a trade-off. You're trading the possibility of the highest retail price for a faster, simpler, as-is sale with fewer steps and fewer ways for the deal to fall apart.
How do I know a cash home buyer is legitimate?
Great question. A legitimate cash buyer will put everything in writing, use a reputable title company, and follow standard closing procedures. Red flags include asking for upfront fees, refusing to put the offer in writing, constantly changing the price late in the process, or pushing unusual closing arrangements.
Does it matter if the buyer is local?
It can. A local buyer often understands local property values and neighborhoods better, and there's accountability. You're typically dealing with the same team from the first call to closing, and reputation matters.
What happens on closing day, and when do I actually get paid?
Closing day is usually straightforward. You sign with a reputable title company, in person or sometimes remotely. Once everything is signed and recorded, payment is issued, often the same day or within 24 hours depending on the title company's process.
And that's it?
That's it. A clean cash sale should feel simple, documented, and transparent. And that's a realistic example of how the first call goes, what gets asked, what gets answered, and how you can go from "I'm just exploring" to an all-cash closing in as little as 7 to 14 days when the title is clear.
And the big theme is no pressure, just clarity. If it's not a fit, you don't move forward. But if it is a fit, it can save a lot of time, repairs, and uncertainty.
If you're thinking about selling a house in Central PA and you want to understand your options, you can learn more online at 717homebuyers.com or call 717-321-SOLD. That's 717-321-7653.
Thanks for listening to the PA Property Talk podcast from 717 Homebuyers. We'll catch you next time.